Good evening. Welcome to the show tonight. The Red Pill News. It is. I am your host, Max Power. That's going to be my new name, Max Power. I think that I've had it in this world with names. I don't know, man. If you're going to choose a name, what name would you choose for yourself? What's your alter ego name? Like, it's kind of fun to think about that sometimes. On the show the other night, I was talking about having your talking about your identity basically, but your paranoia and your confidence. And I had a hard time choosing. I still haven't chosen who my paranoia would be. Like if you had one image for paranoia and one image for confidence, who would that be? So your confidence is the one that's going to tell you you're gorgeous, you're sexy, you're smart, you can do anything. I mean, failure is a foreign word to you. Everything you do is great and perfect. You're amazing, right? And your paranoia is like, you suck, you're ugly, you're fat, you're gross, no one likes you, no one loves you, you're a failure, you're going to die miserable and alone. And these two inside your mind, in your body, in your soul, fight it out daily. Some people are overly confident, right? Knocks, paranoia on the head, boom. Sometimes people's paranoia takes over and confidence withers up, or sometimes it's like that kind of balance. So the human version of confidence for me would be The Rock. I like The Rock, man. You know what I mean? The guy is cool. He's funny. I'm not one of those wrestling people. I didn't even know the guy was like. I knew he was like one of those professional wrestlers back in the day, but like you see that stuff in passing as you flip into channels, and he looked like he's a giant oiled up dudes jumping on each other. I've seen enough of that. I used to review bands in the city and on Long Island. Sometimes they send you into like gay bars to see a band. That's the kind of stuff that goes on in gay bars, like guys oiled up and they jump on each other. That's fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? Whatever people like, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, I'm good with it, man. But really, the reality is that's my confidence is The Rock, and The Rock is could come out and and like basically The Rock from like Fast and Furious movies, that type. Not like any kind of wimpy rock or anything like that dude, because it seems like he could chew concrete and spit it out and still be cool doing it. But paranoia, I don't know, man. Paranoia is like the to me, it's paranoia is insecurity, always second guessing you. Like my ex is a great example of that. It's like when you're in a relationship with someone, every decision you make, everything you say, everything you do, there's a person there saying it's wrong, or you're going to fail, or what about this, or you should worry. Before I met that person, I never used to worry about anything. That sound weird? And I let it happen to me. I opened up the door. I let it happen to me. And it took me on a learning adventure about myself and my own insecurities. But my insecurities were based on the people around me and not me. I always knew that I could do anything that I set out to do, no matter what that was. And I'm the kind of person, I like to achieve things, and then when I'm done, I move on to something else because I get bored with it. So that's me, right? In a nutshell. Literally, literally, perfect choice of words. Max Power, thank you. So, paranoia. I think that that's what that paranoia is: nagging, nitpicking. Basically making you and conforming you into some coward. You know what I mean? So the words that always meant things to me were honor, courage, loyalty, man. You know what I mean? And sometimes you go through rough bits in your life where you get shaken. But it doesn't mean it's the end, and it's all about the experience. And inside that experience, what do you experience? So I'm a photographer. I like to take like a lot of images and whatever of different things that strike me. I was getting into like bird photography here and there. Bought a really big long ass 600 millimeter lens. If you know anything about lenses, it's all about money, 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 and cheaper is never better. Not even if it's $1 cheaper, it's never better. So lenses is all about construction and glass and elements and all that. I mean, you're talking about a lot of dough. So, and I was taking pictures of these birds. Cool, all right. There's one hawk hanging out. I got two eagles doing it up in the sky, man. You know, like ever see eagles do it? They couple and they actually start falling to the earth, and then at some point they break away before they smash into the ground. The anticlimactic ending, but and then I was thinking, like, you know what? It's cool. It's fun. It's fun to share on Facebook and all that. But it didn't strike me as artistic. And there's a million people, yeah, sure, that take bird pictures, but you're like, well, I was getting into moonshots. And it's not that you shouldn't do something if there's a million people doing it, because maybe you do something better than that whole million. Ah, so I got into like taking moon pictures. To me, it came down to a scientific formula on lighting and everything, and especially the camera that I'm using. I got a Canon 5D Mark IV, really good hardcore camera, and takes brilliant, beautiful images. If you know Canon, they make great stuff. So put that together with a great lens, and then you're there. So I took pictures, boom, 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 year after year, taking pictures of moonshots, and they're all cool. They look good. They're fun. But what about it makes it amazing? Yeah, it's the moon. And it's like a sunset. A sunset by itself going down is just the sun, blob of light in the sky going down. It's not until you add the clouds and all the types of spectrums of light that make it something substantial, that make it a gorgeous sunset, make it like unbelievably beautiful, right? Same thing for the moon, when the moon has a lot of clouds around it, or in the middle of winter when there's that like kind of moon bow around the moon, that lights up the crystals and just so beautiful and all that. So it's not the object itself, it's the things around it too. It's the shared things, right? It's not the fruit, it's the flower. Or it's not the flower, it's the fruit. I mean, think about it. So when we travel through this world and we look for an identity, what shakes us will break us if we allow it to. Or you learn from it. You learn from your experience. So if you're in a roller coaster and you're cruising along, zoom, 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 people screaming. Some people puke, you know, you get puke in the face, man, because they're on a roller coaster ride, which is like life, up and down, side to side, whirly birds, man. Where's the art in that? Do you find the art? I mean, if you're that person, if you're in tune with the universe, you're going to find art in everything, even in that roller coaster as you're cruising. And you don't control the roller coaster, it doesn't really control you, but it's taking you for the ride. And what you experience in that ride is entirely up to you, right? You can be happy. Wow, this is great. You could be terrified. Oh, I'm going to poop my pants. You could be the one that pukes. Blech. You just ate 3 chili dogs at a chili eating festival or something, and you get on a roller coaster. Is it true that people have to wait 3, 4, 5 hours to get on a ride at a amusement park? Is that true? People tell me that. I'm like, how could that be? Are you really that much of a trained animal to sit there online for hours, hours, and hours, man? I mean, that to me is ridiculous. Like I don't like waiting. I'm famous for not waiting online. I was dating this girl, Endicott, New York, man. She's like, let's go get some custard. I like custard. Love frozen custard, right? Not even custard, frozen custard. Love frozen custard, right? So, okay, let's go. We go to this place. There's like 20 people on the line. And she's like, well, it's really great. I'm like, there's 20 people on the line. And she's like, it's okay. You know, we can stand in line. And I looked at her like she was from another like planet, man. I just censored myself. I was like, you mean get out and wait online? What the hell's wrong with you? So that's my thing. Oh, come on. That she wanted it really bad. I'm like, I'll wait in the car. You get it, but I don't want any now because just the whole premise of being online. And I sat there in the car with the window open and she was online. I was talking to her out the window. So essentially, I was online with her, but I was in the car. I didn't want to like kind of like lower myself by dude. I'm sorry. I don't like waiting online. I hate it. I look at a line, right? All right, like let's say I go to one of those drive-through coffee places. I won't say any names because they got to advertise with us for me to mention their name. So let's say I go to one of those places, and especially when you're traveling, let's say you leave your hotel, you get on the road. The first thing you want to do is have a nice coffee. Hotel coffee usually really sucks. There's a few places that had great coffee. There's a few places, hotels that I have gone to, especially that had name brand coffee, those big name, like the ones that I like actually, you know, and surprisingly so. Anyway, it's like I pull in, and every person that gets up to that squawk box and makes an order takes 3, 4, 5 minutes, right? Especially if the place is slow, you know. Let's say it could take more. 5, 6, 7. Let's say 5 minutes per person. Here you go. There's 10 people online. That's 50 minutes. You're gonna wait there almost an hour. Is that realistic? Let's say it's 2 minutes and there's 10 people online. It's still 20 minutes. That's a long time to wait to get some whatever. I mean, come on, man. So when I see long lines, I go. I'm gone. I don't want to wait for in the car. I don't want to wait for custard. I don't want to wait for the movie. You know what? And then because I used to like review concerts and all that other stuff, I walk right through the place. There'd be 100 people online, but I'm the guy reviewing it, so I get to like woo, walk right past them. I used to love that too. I used to love it. It was one of the things about that job that I loved the most. Walking past everyone, I walked past, fart a couple times. Bye bye. I'm going inside. Ooh, you're standing out in the rain. Oh man, that's terrible. I'll see you inside. Yeah, there's perks. There's perks to things in life sometimes. You can enjoy the perks. You're not evil for enjoying the perks. In fact, if you don't enjoy the perks, you're missing the point of the experience, right? So it's about understanding the universe, you know, and you have to know how to communicate too, especially with people. When you go across the country, or if you travel to other countries, especially, I mean, we're all human, kind of. Basically, basically, I got a few friends that you might describe as a little bit Neanderthalish, but they're still human, right? We're all humans being. But different cultures, different backgrounds, people from like Nebraska versus people from New York City versus people from LA or people from buttfuck Idaho or whatever, man. Everybody's got a different take on things, especially if they're brainwashed and controlled. Man, you go through the Bible Belt. Ugh, it gets very complicated very fast. If you have any original thoughts, man. But it's also fun messing with people's heads as you're going through these places. You have to judge to see how how twitchy they are first, man, or if they're armed and dangerous, But I don't know. You have to enjoy the moment, and it's about what you get out of it. So, could someone have a bad time? Let's say even bad things happen. Bad things are gonna happen no matter what. You ever know someone who's like depressed all the time and bad things are happening to them all the time, and then nothing ever good happens to them anytime, and then you see them and you don't even want to ask them how they're doing because it's going to be a just ugh. And is that mean to say? It's one thing. Okay, here's my friend, or you're going through a rough stretch of road. I'm happy to hear it. Help you. Do anything I can to elevate you, lift you up, and get you back on your feet again, so you can, be the happy person that you are. But then there's people that don't want to be happy. They like being miserable. They love being miserable. They excel at being miserable. I think that people just love it sometimes. Well, they want to be angry. They want to just kind of inflict pain on you to make you angry so they can fight with you. Yep. Yep. There's that out there. So, but understand, see, and I like talking to people, especially like when I was traveling, stop in a gas station, get gas. There's dude in there. Hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Have a cool conversation, and it's, it's funny. I was in Wyoming, right? Middle of nowhere, like something Rock Creek, one of those places where it was probably like lots of gunfights back in the day, like the Badlands, man. When you're driving through that stuff, like especially it's a high altitude, man. So you're like 6, 7, or 8,000 feet in some places. So you got that. You got that lack of vegetation. You have just really nothing you can grow there. It's just a Badlands, like literally. And then 50, 60 miles between towns. You're going, and boom. So stay at this place, and I like good hotels. With hotels and traveling, at that point, I had my ex's daughter with me because I was getting her out of a bad situation where she was in New York. I figured just get her on the road, let her see America. I mean, get her out there. If she hated it, she can go back, which is ultimately what happened. But the desert is actually not really for everyone, but I like it hot and dry. I don't like it too hot, but hot and dry appeals to me. But anyway, people are laid back too, man. That's cool. In the East Coast, everybody's so uptight. You know what I mean? They got a lot of colon problems because the sphincter's too tight. They're uptight. Makes your whole body tight. Everybody's panicked all the time. You're uptight in traffic. You're in bumper to bumper traffic. It can't go any slower. What are you uptight about? Well, because you got to get there. Well, you planned for it. Duh. That's why I moved out of the city in Long Island. One of the big reasons of traffic. You're sitting hours worth of traffic and waste your life. But it depends on what you get out of it. I put the music on, get a little big and big going on, chill out, man. I don't know. You just have to kind of get into your own head and meditate your way through it and whatever, man. But anyway, I was in the middle of nowhere in this place in Wyoming. I was leaving in the morning. It was pretty windy. It was like blustery, hot and dry, blustery though. And the guy's like, I go to the guy at the gas station, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty windy outside. And he's like, that's nothing. He's like, you should see what it's like here. It's like really windy, dust storms, sandstorms, everything is gonna get you here. I'm like, all right, dude, shut the fuck up. Here's some money. I'm gonna get some gas. You don't have to go crazy, man. I just said it's kind of windy out, but it's flat. Of course, it's windy. You know what? There's no trees, nothing stopping the wind. It's kind of weird, but yeah, hotels are a hodgepodge, man. I'm gonna write a best hotels guide and worst hotels. See, at the best hotels, you don't need a guide because they're going to be good. It's hard to nitpick. I stay at really good hotels sometimes. I stay at mid-level hotels. I really don't. I don't go for the lower level. But all right, so like if it's in New York State and you have to go by the number, Motel 6, Super 8. You probably want to avoid those places because those are the ones that are going to have the major issues going on with every facet. And usually for $20 more, you can get into a Hampton Inn or, so I mean, you got Hilton properties like that. You got other things that are more known for acceptable traveling, clean, quiet, no bugs, and you're not going to get victimized in the place, right? Or in the parking lot. So, yeah, and then you look for deals, man. You know what I do? This is what I do. I use booking.com. I'm not advertising for them either. In fact, I really don't like them that much. They're all right, but and then I look, so it has a good guide, shows you all the hotels, it shows you what they're going to charge. But also you use Google. If you use Google Maps and hit the hotel thing, it'll show you all those hotels. Then it'll show you who's got the best deal on that hotel for the night. So then I look for the best deal. Then I call the hotel and I say, I can get this deal through so and so. What's your rack rate? Which means what's the rate, their lowest discounted rate that they can offer, right? And much of the time, you can get that rack rate direct and you cannot use the service rate. Sometimes you get a better deal through the service, but you just gotta know how to travel. But I had the extra person plus the kid. The extra person didn't matter. The kid, the cat, the kitten. For people, so some hotels allow free pets, right? And some advertise free pets, but they only mean dogs. They don't want the cats. You know what I mean? So there's that too. Like you really got to call ahead and see if they take cats and do that. If you're traveling with a pet, it makes it much harder. A dog's easier, cat's harder. But most of the hotels charge me 25, $30 a night extra for the cat, plus tax on that fee that they charge you, which is interesting. I don't believe there should be taxes on fees, but whatever, man. It's you live and learn. So when you're on the road, $75 a night, including tax and all that, gets you a worthy hotel room. It does. And with a lot of places, you can find them for like $50. You probably don't want to go lower than that. It depends on what your expectations are. Or if you're just going in, use the bathroom, take a shower, sleep, get the hell out of there next day, that's fine. But the bed bugs, cockroaches especially, read the reviews and read the negative reviews first, and you'll be able to suss people out from those negative reviews, because I leave reviews, period, positive, negative, whatever the thing strikes me as, right? I actually stayed at a Super 8 in Ithaca recently. I'll tell you, Ithaca is on the decline. It's in a state of decay because of the extreme politics, the nature of what goes on in Ithaca, the things they're willing to allow. It's the taxes are going up, the people's pay are going down, businesses are closing. It's like a ghost town. You got Cornell University there. If Cornell was there, it would be nothing, right? But okay, so I stayed at this place. I stayed there a year ago, and it was all right. It was a cheap hotel in Ithaca. You know, the hotel room in Ithaca, your average hotel room in Ithaca is $100 a night. So, which is really a lot. And if there's something going on, it's going to be more like 150 to 200 a night. So this place, you can get it for $60 a night. Sometimes even cheaper. It depends, right? Anyway, so I needed to go in there. I booked a few nights, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. Go in there. Uh, I couldn't even believe what was going on there. And so it turns out that the city of Ithaca enacted its blue law, which made a blue light, blue level, whatever, which made that local hotel was designated a homeless shelter, man. And they put all these junkies in there, and they put all these homeless people from this place called the Jungle, and they're in there smoking cigarettes, having fights, beating each other up. The manager told me there was a shooting recently, a lot of stabbings. And I'm like, why don't you tell the guests this when they book the hotel? She's like, well, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. The state won't let you. The state won't let them. And then you're so the first night, it was a Thursday night, right? I booked in there. And you know what? The room was clean. I didn't have a problem with that. The beds are way too soft, which I think is bad. Bad for my back anyway. But I mean, it had everything that I needed. Put it that way. It had Wi-Fi. It was clean. It had a desk and an office chair, which I need. That had that. Okay, that's fine. So the bathroom I didn't like. It's too small. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm picky about a lot of stuff. Believe it or not, but then there's other stuff I'm not so picky about. If I have the basics and I'm okay, I'm cool. I don't need the Four Seasons, man. Do I like the Four Seasons? Sure. Do I need the Four Seasons? No. So it's like that, you know. But I'm sitting there, and these two people out in the hallway having some fight in a foreign language, and you're screaming at each other. And then boom, boom against the wall, and whatever. And there's like unbelievable, horrible smell of this cheap perfume like wafting through that these people, these two women were wearing as they were battling it out. All right, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in a deep sleep. Probably fell asleep around 1, whatever. I felt unsafe in that hotel the entire time, by the way. And I'm usually armed on the road, you know. I mean, like I don't mess around. So I'm laying there sleeping, dreaming. Ah, dreamland, all music going on, whatever. All of a sudden, I wake up to this fire alarm going off. I'm like, what? And now I have PTSD because I stayed at a hotel in Owego, New York, where the actual hotel caught fire. But I was awake when that happened. I heard the damn alarm going off, and then grab my important stuff. Whenever you stay in a hotel, take all your important stuff, your wallet, your keys, whatever you got, and keep it right by you and in a certain area where you can just get up, grab it, and walk out the door. Literally, you don't be running around looking for stuff. Now, I got PTSD from that stupid hotel fire in Owego. So 3 o'clock in the morning, boom, it happened to be 14 degrees outside. Everybody files out into the parking lot. The woman at the Super 8 did the right thing. She went down the hall knocking on the doors. The people at the Holiday Inn in Owego, I walked downstairs. The manager was looking at her daughter, who also worked there, like two idiots. They didn't know what to do. So, boom, there's your difference there. But okay, I go outside into the cold. My car was right out there. I got my Jeep started up. I was shivering because it was too freaking cold out. And I didn't have my jacket on yet. I had all my stuff, my jacket in my hand. But I figured just get in the car, put it on, put the seat warmers on. I'm good. But it took about an hour and a half for cops, for fire department shows up. The fire department, by the time the fire department showed up, they already knew it was just some idiot who decided to pull the alarm. And he wasn't even the manager told me the guy wasn't even like a guest staying there or one of those homeless shelter people. He was visiting one of them. Thought it would be funny. Pull the alarm, send everybody outside. So that was the first night. Second night, and all the while, there's stuff going on out in the parking lot, constant noise, pit bulls fighting each other. I swear to God, there was a cockfight upstairs, man, like the room above me. There was some kind of cockfight going on, where there was, I don't know what it was. Sounded like a cockfight. There was a lot of cheering and I don't know. I don't know. So the second night, 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up to use the bathroom. Okay, get back in the bed. I hear boom, boom, and not like a gunshot or anything. More like someone taking their fist and pounding, like something upstairs. Not a good kind of pounding either. More just pounding a wall. And then they started screaming, ah! So like one of the junkies ran out of junk or whatever the hell's going on. I don't know, man. So there was that. Okay. Then I'm like, I got to get out of here, man. I called another hotel in the area. Actually found this beautiful place. It was a lakeside resort. It's got cabins, and it was only a few bucks more. It was $20 a night more than the freaking Super 8. $20 a night more than the Super 8. A huge king suite, king size bed, full kitchen, big bathroom, giant shower overlooking the lake with beautiful stuff around nature. Yeah. You got to look around, and 30 minutes away from crappy Ithaca. So anyway, which is a good thing, which is a really good thing. So next day, I'm telling the manager, I can't stay here. I got to go, man. This is like ridiculous. And, I didn't want any part of what was going on there. I had I had problems that people are going to break into my car and steal stuff. I had stuff in my car. It's a common occurrence there because in Ithaca, they don't punish criminals. They reward them. They don't punish them. And that's what they do. And because of that, there's like a crime wave, and you can't really leave your stuff out there, anything out in the open, because the junkies will pop your window, man, and go in your car just to take some change. They will destroy $100 window and cause you all that grief to get some change because they're sick. They need their junk, and they should be locked up in facilities because they got problems like that and not roaming the streets victimizing people. But in Ithaca, they think it's okay to let it go. All right, fine, whatever, man. You know, that's what they do. It's not a solution, and I believe in solutions for problems. But they call it a lifestyle choice, and that's it. Okay, man. But it's not my lifestyle choice to be victimized. So when they break the law, they break the law. So, anyways, after I have that conversation, I go out to my Jeep. I gotta go out get some food and stuff, and I come back. I parked in front of the place. I'm sitting there in my car, drinking some coffee, nice iced coffee with a shot of espresso in it. And there's this little guy out there, and he was there a year earlier. He was a little character, like one of these guys who collects bottles and cans. In fact, the next morning I saw him. I got a picture of him. I wrote a review about the place on Google. Go to Google if the Super 8 have a review with this guy in his pajamas at 7 p.m. sitting there going through the dumpster there, picking out bottles and cans to cash in. I don't have a problem with people doing that. Less stuff in the landfill. They get money in their pocket. I'm all for it, man. But this was the same guy from the night before that I was watching when I was having coffee, who had a, a fight with himself. That's the easiest way I could say it. So he's cursing at himself, F you. And I'm wondering, he's got like a headset on. He's talking to somebody. There's no one around him. Maybe there's a ghost right there or something. I don't know. F you, mother effer. No, F you. He's having a fight with himself. He grabs his shirt and, grabs his own shirt, and he's yanking himself around the parking lot. He's like, let me go. He's like, I ain't letting you go. Let me go. And I'm like in awe watching. I'm like scrambling to get my phone so I can record this. Like the whole damn times you need the stupid thing is never ready. Right? So, all right. This guy's having his argument, and then he punches himself in the face. Like punches himself in the face. Boom, knocks himself on the ground. Then he pulls himself, he takes his fist, puts it on his shirt, and then he gets up and he's like, I'm sorry I did that to you. He's like, oh, I know you can get mad. He's like, let's go have a drink. He's like, okay. That's what's staying at the Super 8 in Ithaca. That's going to be the dude that you encounter. The guy that has really no job. They just sit there all day long. It's a smoke-free facility. And I can't be around cigarette smoke, And the whole place reeks of cigarette smoke. My room itself didn't, which made it tolerable for a couple of days. If the room stunk like cigarette smoke, except that horrible perfume that came through. But you can actually see it in the hallway, like down the hall. I guess they're lumping everybody at the back, the homeless part of it. And that's the manager with a woman that I knew from last year, and she said that she had a little girl who was 3 years old, and she's like, I can't even bring her here because of the danger, how bad it is. I'm like, you don't bring your daughter here, but then you don't tell the guests who are coming with kids and dogs and whatever that they're going to encounter this constant crime going on. I mean, there was a dude selling out of his window, a few windows down from me. I kept hearing someone tapping on the glass. I look out the window, and people are coming to the window, tapping on the glass, putting money in, taking money out. And I'm like, this is a Wyndham property. does Wyndham really want this? And then Wyndham actually had the nerve to send me a review. So I do professional reviews. That's what I look at, man. I'm a top reviewer at Google. I'm also a top reviewer at the travel, whatever, man. The travel, whatever. So I put my reviews in a few different places, and they give you all kinds of like levels of what you are, right? But I'll tell you this, and Google's my favorite because they kind of spread it around and all that, and I'm actually having fun with it. Plus, I do pizza reviews. The Pizza Guy Review.com. Go to the Pizza Guy Review or go to Facebook Pizza Guy Review, and that's me, man, the Pizza Guy. So you know what? 'Cause I love pizza. I love reviewing pizza, and every pizza is different. But yeah, stay away from the Super 8. And I think, but when you travel, you got to know what the crime level is, and there's like Neighborhood Scout. That's one. They if you go on there and put the area in, it'll show you the crime statistics of what you can expect and what the best neighborhoods are, what the worst neighborhoods are. Because if you're traveling and you don't know where you're going, you definitely don't want to stay in a hotel that's going to turn you into some kind of victim, man. You know what I mean? I've been through that a few times. Not places I stayed at, places I almost stayed at, and this one place by outside of Cleveland, man, and it was a Days Inn. It was a name brand. Days Inn. A lot of them are nice, right? I go, and the guy like, here's your key. Here is your key. It's a building next door. I'm like, okay. I go and the lock is broken. There's like bugs, look like cockroaches crawling on the wall. It looked like a crime scene in there, like a big, huge blood splatter on the floor. That there was like water coming through the ceiling, like those drop ceiling all broken and busted. There was like watermarks on the wall. There was like dudes out in the parking lot selling stuff, and smoking crack, or whatever. It smelled like burning plastic. It smelled like crack. And then I go back and I'm like, why do you think that I want this room in this place? He's like, well, for $12 more, you can stay in this other one. I'm like, listen, man, just refund me the money. I'm out of here. Bye. You don't need my business. So anyway, that's my rant for tonight on everything like that. This is the Red Pill News. Catch me next week. Maybe I'll be on the road. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Anything's possible in this little old world. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.